United Kingdom, certain boroughs have statutory right to admit as honorary freemen persons of distinction and persons who have rendered eminent service to the borough. Associated with this right, but not authorised by statute, is the right of freedom of entry, occasionally granted to regiments that have rendered conspicuous service and that are associated with the borough. This custom, which has been widely followed throughout the Commonwealth of Nations, as well as in the United Kingdom, provides a dignified and satisfactory means of enabling a corporation to honour a distinguished regiment, thereby effecting a very desirable liaison between the local authority and the military. The granting of freedom of the city or borough is a privilege that should be not given or accepted lightly. In the past, in New Zealand, certain local bodies have granted freedoms to other than units, such as, for example, static camps. While the honour of such privilege is recognised, nevertheless, it is desirable that the privilege should be restricted to units, the commanding officers of which are the rank of Lieutenant Colonel, having a close and preferable territorial association with the local body. Independent units under command of a major may also be acceptable. Given that other conditions have been met, it is also desirable that the local body granting the privilege should be at least of borough status. The granting of the charter is an ancient custom whereby a city may formally grant a unit certain privileges. These privileges, often referred to as the freedom of the city, include as well the right to march ceremonially through the city with the colours flying, drum beating and bands fixed, without further court permission from municipal authorities. Freedom of the city is awarded on the 27th of August in 1956 and celebrated annually. The parade today is a composite of the 50 New Zealand Army personnel and the RNZ Signals Princess Anne banner, and the 50 RNZAF personnel with the 3rd Squadron Standard. The New Zealand Army Band is a welcome addition to the Charter Parade and will be providing music of historical significance throughout the parade. Prior to stepping off, the parade will conduct a series of drill movements in order to form the Princess Anne banner and 3rd Squadron Standard into parade. This is an important part of the form-up and is steeped in tradition. The New Zealand Army, as a senior service, will be on the right of the RNZAF on the left. The banner and standard will be positioned in the centre. When you hear the parade commander signal to the band that they are ready to step off, the band will start playing and the parade will march to the roundabout, where they will be challenged by a senior constable and New Zealand police. The senior constable will stop the parade and challenge the right to march through the streets of the city. The parade commander will convey its privileges to march through the city, which the constable will acknowledge and accept. Once the challenge has been accepted, the parade commander will march the parade in front of the cenotaph and prepare the parade for the arrival of His Worship the Mayor, Mayor Grant Smith. His Worship the Mayor will be afforded a general salute on arrival, for which the band will play Point of War. At this time, the Royal Air Force will complete a flyover or flypast, which signifies an aerial salute. A flyover is used to show respect, display aircraft, and may honour individuals in private or public life, or commemorate happenings in a particular location. The flyover today is in the commemoration of the Charters and shows respect to His Worship the Mayor and the community of Palmerston North. At the completion of the flyover, His Worship the Mayor will be invited to inspect the parade. On completion of the inspection, His Worship the Mayor will address the parade and instruct the Chief Executive to read the charters. On completion of the recital, the Chief Executive will hand the charter to the Mayor, who will in turn hand the charters back to the military for a safe return to Linton camp in the RNZAF base of Ohakea. Once the charters have been handed over, the parade will march around the square with His Worship the Mayor being repositioned to the roundabout to receive an eyes right as the parade marches through the roundabout. The parade will then halt, fall out the colours, then the New Zealand Army Band, then the parade itself. At this point, the parade will officially end. God bless New Zealand. God save the Queen.
Ladies and gentlemen, please be seated.
Ladies and gentlemen, please stand for the arrival of the Commander, 1st NZ Brigade, Colonel Brett Wellington, DSD. Please be seated. Ladies and gentlemen, please stand for the arrival of the Deputy Chief of Army, Brigadier Chris Parsons, MNZM, DSD. Please be seated. Ladies and gentlemen, please stand for the arrival of His Worship, the Mayor of Palmerston North, Mayor Grant Smith.
And we'll prepare to play. Hey! Ready!
Please be seated.
Thank you.
Right, bush entities. Stand! Hey!
Tēnā koutou, tēnā koutou, tēnā koutou katoa. Nai mai, haere mai. Colonel Brett Wellington, DSD, Group Captain Nick Ongley, soldiers of Linton Camp, and airmen and women of the Royal New Zealand Air Force Base, Ohakea. Distinguished guests, ladies and gentlemen. I'm honoured to welcome you here today as we reaffirm and celebrate our very special relationship with the Defence Force, who have a significant presence in our region. Back in 1956, Palmerston North gave the Defence Force the keys to the city in recognition of their contribution to our region and country. We were the first city in New Zealand to do this. The 1956 charters granted Linton Military Camp and the Royal New Zealand Air Force the right to parade into the city with bayonets fixed, colours flying, drums beating and bands playing. Today's parade and beating retreat marks 60 years since these charters have come into being. What is also special, it's the first time that Linton Military Camp and RNZAF base Ohakea have paraded together in our city. It's the first time we'll be treated to the spectacular 1812 overture and beating retreat. Since the charters were signed, Linton has grown to be the largest military camp in the country, and RNZAF base Ohakea has expanded significantly. And of course, we're now home to the New Zealand Defence College at Ohakea. Over the years, the Defence Force has made an incredible contribution to our city and gained the respect and admiration of our citizens. We all take comfort knowing we're on hand to support and reassure during emergencies and natural disasters. I'm sure many of you will recall just how important this support has been in the 2004 floods and more recently in 2015. You also make a huge contribution as individuals. You coach, you play in local sports teams, you belong to cultural groups and clubs, you serve on school boards, and you take leadership roles that make a difference in our community. Many of you live outside the camp and have extended families who work for the local firms, own their own businesses, or study in our educational institutions. We, in return, offer you a vibrant, caring, innovative, sustainable, prosperous, and smart city where you're always welcome, and I would like to reaffirm our ongoing support to you and your families. Today is not only a very important day for our city, but it's a very important day for me personally. During the 1950s, Linton Military Camp was the staging area for soldiers joining the United Nations force. They were sent to throw back communist North Korea's invasion of its southern neighbour. My own father served in the 16th Field Regiment, joining K-Force around that time of the armistice when it was signed in 1954. I returned to South Korea with my father and members of the RSA in 2008. We visited places where he served and paid our respects at the United Nations Military Cemetery in Busan, where 34 New Zealand service personnel are buried. And while today is a celebration of the relationship between the Defence Force and the city, it is also an opportunity to remember all those who have served our country over the years and to acknowledge all of you who stand ready to serve our country today. Our thanks. So it is really with great pleasure that I, as the Mayor of Palmerston North, reaffirm your right to march through this city with colours flying, drums beating and bayonets fixed. The right of freedom of entry to our city. I'm sure everyone here feels as proud as I do to have you in our city today. And we look forward to the 1812 overture and the beating of the retreat later this afternoon at 5:30 p.m. Thank you once again to Colonel Brett Wellington, DST, Group Captain Nick Ongley, soldiers of Linton Camp, and airmen and women of the Royal New Zealand Air Force Base Ohakea. Maria, tēnā koutou, tēnā koutou, tēnā koutou katoa. Thank you.
Commanding Officers, Linton Camp and RNZAF Base Ohakea. Whereas the Mayor, Councillors and citizens of the City of Palmerston North did on the 27th day of August 1956 present charters in recognition of the honourable record and traditions of Linton Camp and RNZAF Base Ohakea. And whereas the City is desirous of renewing these charters in recognition of the continued honourable record and traditions of Linton Camp and RNZAF Base Ohakea, and to cement and foster the intimate associations which are now and have for so long been enjoyed between the City and the camp and base. And whereas the Mayor, Councillors and citizens of the City of Palmerston North do hereby lay up the charters issued on the 27th day of August 1956. Now therefore, the Mayor, Councillors and citizens of the City of Palmerston North do hereby confer in perpetuity upon Linton Camp and RNZAF Base Ohakea the privilege, honour and distinction of marching through the streets of Palmerston North on all ceremonial occasions with bayonets fixed, colours flying, drums beating and bands playing, and to hereby agree to formal recognition of the charters once in each year in such manner as shall be deemed appropriate. The common seal of the Palmerston North City Council was hereunto put and affixed on the 3rd day of December 2016 in the presence of Grant Smith, Mayor, and Paddy Clifford, Chief Executive.
Hooray! Hooray! Cha!
Ladies and gentlemen, please stand for the departure of His Worship the Mayor of Palmerston North, Mayor Grant Smith.
Parade! General salute! Peace out! Ha!
Please be seated. Ladies and gentlemen, please stand for the departure of the Deputy Chief of Army, Brigadier Chris Parsons, MNZM DSD.
Parade! Peace out! Ha! Shogun! Ha!
Please be seated. Ladies and gentlemen, please stand for the departure of the Commander, 1st NZ Brigade, Colonel Brett Wellington, DSD.
Parade! Peace out! Ha! Shogun! Ha!
Please be seated.
Parade! Entrance order! Inwards! Dress!
Ladies and gentlemen, please be standing for the departure of the parade.
Aye! Front! Right will march off to the left in columns of routes